All right. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone, or good night, or good morning. I don't know where everyone is time zone wise, but hello. Happy Tuesday? Jesus. All right. It's Tuesday, but yeah, I don't know. My concept of time this week is a little bit wonky, but it's good to see you guys during the week. Ideally, I would like to start streaming during the week on a more regular basis, but as life would have it, that hasn't really been working it out the last couple weeks. But going forward, I'd like to be doing it on Wednesdays, and I think I can do every Wednesday for the next month or two. So tune in Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Although I'm not exactly, I don't know if I'm set on the time yet because I am doing 5 p.m. Just for all you other people who seem to be in every other time zone but mine. Uh, but 5 p.m. is definitely hard on my work brain. I feel like I'm like scrambling to get all my shit done and then like signing off like immediately and then trying to like switch over to stream mode real fast, which is a little difficult. But at the same time, I one of my favorite parts about the live streams is interacting with you lovely people. So if I got to do it at 5, I got to do it at 5. But let me know if you can maybe do just a touch later. What? So today we'll keep it a little bit brief, not nothing huge to discuss about, just like your classic trailer drop. And we had some new ones. We had that DC Fandome hit the internet recently, and it gave us some new teasers, some new good stuff to keep us going and to put DC back on the map. They've been, they've been not as active. Well, that's not very fair. Everyone's been taking, dealing with the pandemic and different ways, but DC, I would say, was not in the best of places, success and trajectory wise. But surprisingly, the internet really had its way. They had the Snyder cut, so that did relatively well. Not relatively well. It did really, really well based on, just being like a re-release of a movie that kind of flopped. But the director's cut did amazing. And then Suicide Squad 2. What was the name of it? Actually, I'm not sure what the actual official name of it was. But the second Suicide Squad movie was actually pretty good. Like, it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't say it like blew my mind or I don't know if I'd ever watch it again. Like, I'm always talking about like rewatch value when it comes to things. I don't know if I'd watch Suicide Squad 2 again, but I definitely like enjoyed it. It was a good movie and it was a good time, and I was actually really pleased with it. But yeah, they're coming back full force, trying to let us know, make sure we don't forget that they're still trying to do the whole extended universe thing, despite all the falters and missteps they've had along the way. They're like, we are not done, and we're gonna keep chugging along, and we're gonna keep going and try it until we figure this extended universe thing out. And I'm like, okay, all right, DC, you do you. You throw, you have money, so throw as much money into it as you can until you finally figure it out. But you know, speaking of one of the trailers that we're going to be talking about today, because we're going to be talking about the new Flash trailer. You know what? No, I'll say that so when we start talking about the new Flash trailer. But first things first, I would say the biggest thing that has been hitting the internet space is the new Batman trailer. The Batman. It's actually really funny. You guys are kind of like clowning on it in the chat, but like when I was writing the description for this video, I was like, I wanted to say the new Batman and Flash trailers, but I'm like the Batman and the Flash trailers, like fuck it, just Batman and Flash. Like, I just like putting the thes in it was just really throwing it off grammatically, but it's the Batman, the Flash, and is it actually the Suicide Squad? I don't even know. Maybe I'll look it up. But the Batman, capital the Batman trailer. I I don't know. I've got a lot I've got a lot of feelings on it that I haven't exactly exactly made sense of. Because of course, I am just a red-blooded woman. I'm just a simple nerd. So when I first saw when I see a Batman trailer, there is parts of me that just kind of uh, get turned on. A little bell gets rung. I'm a little mouse in a maze, and I'm getting fed a little crack in a tube. I'm just like, yeah, Batman. Ooh, punch. Ooh, pow, pow. Ooh, Gotham. Like, there are certain things that I see that trick my brain into thinking I'm looking at something awesome. And there were certainly awesome things, but I also have to like take a step back and be like, okay, all right, we all love Batman. Okay, we all love a Batman trailer. So is this actually good? Or are you just excited to see Batman again because Batman is the end all be all when it comes to that DC franchise? But I will say abstractly, when I kind of took a second to really think about what I had just seen, unfortunately, I don't really, and it is a trailer. So, I mean, who's to fucking say? But like I just don't know yet what how this Batman is going to differentiate from all the other Batman movies. Like the reason why this Batman movie should exist. And we all know the real reason why it should exist, and it's called money. All right, trying to get that bag, trying to, really, really milk their golden goose. The one golden goose that they have, they're going to beat that Batman dead horse until it is literally just dust. But I'm talking metaphorically here. I'm talking thematically. What is the reason for this piece of work to exist? And I'm not exactly sure what that is yet. And this trailer didn't really instill any of that, any confidence in that regard in me. All it did was like, this is Batman, but emo. Which, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit down for, which I'm a little hyped for, because we're very used to seeing the tortured hero, the like disgruntled, kind of like uh loner, weird, kind of hermity, but like still a good guy, still very hot, still very cool, maybe a little too cool for everybody else. We're used to seeing good guy Batman. Not to say that the Nolan movies definitely explored like his other darker elements, and every other Batman project has had its taste of dealing with the darker side of Batman, because any Batman story worth its stones is going to explore that side. But I am someone, as a big Batman fan, who always finds it fascinating how much of a weirdo he is. Batman is the weirdest weirdo of all. Like, and it always makes me laugh, and it always makes me come back for more. And I actually love that this Batman movie seems like it's going to go into the really shedding a light on just how dark and fucked up Batman actually is. Because while he does a lot of good things, and he does things for the right reasons, and he gets good results, ultimately, this is a very mentally ill person dealing with his mental illness in very unhealthy ways to get I don't know, results that work for most people. I don't know. So this does really seem like it's going to go hard on the dark side of Batman, which I am very excited for. But I also don't want it to just be like a circle jerk of emo-ness. Did that make sense? Like, I don't want it just to be a circle jerk of torture porn, just nonstop gore and violence and shock value kind of stuff, to be like, we're dark, we're edgy, look how dark and edgy we are, let's do the worst thing, let's do the craziest dark. I really hope it doesn't go there, because sometimes I think when a movie is trying to subvert expectations or go down the darker side of things, they will make their reason for existing, going back to the metaphor of like why something should exist, their reason for existence is like shock value, which I don't love. So I hope it's just not. I really hope it's not shock value Batman. From what I've seen in the trailer, I don't know. It has the potential, but it might be. But speaking of elements of the trailer, if I can remember it from the beginning, okay, it starts with like the whole Riddler thing, and you know what? Actually, I just thought of uh I'm actually what this Batman trailer looks like with the whole Riddler thing, with the Riddler getting caught, with uh with the Penguin, with the crime fam. I can't remember the crime families' names that are all like mixed up in this, but that politician that gets killed and all the crime families that are connected to it and all that jazz. What this trailer told me is that it looks like they're going to kind of go back to the roots of what's worked for Batman cinematically, and and when I say what works for Batman cinematically, I'm saying the Christopher Nolan uh run, because that's like been the greatest success that Batman has had on screen. So I know, and everyone's gonna be like, "What about animated series? What about like about it?" That okay, I hear you, but I'm talking about like theater releases and what the DC extended universe is trying to do right now. But I think they're trying to go back to that roots of like political intrigue, because that really, really worked for the Batman style of storytelling and conveying that to a mainstream audience. So it does really seem like they're going to go back to those roots, which I'm excited for, because I am a simp for political intrigue, and I really liked it. I think it was it the new Rockstars video that referenced the California water wars, which I was like very impressed with. I was like, okay, look at come through history. I love that. And citing like a California style kind of like corruption, California water war style political corruption as being the onus for a lot of the things that are going on in this new Batman movie, which I would absolutely love and I think would be a lot of fun. I thought Colin Farrell looked great. I am very interested in that. I actually recently watched that movie Seven Psychopaths, which is a great movie. And so I'm definitely down to see some Colin Farrell biz. I didn't really get much from what's his name? Is it Paul Dano? Something Dano, the guy who's gonna play the Nashton, the Riddler. Didn't really get much from him, but that looks interesting. I will actually, I'm not gonna lie, I did laugh out loud at one point when they were reading one of the Riddler riddles, and he was like, "That's what's red and blue and dead all over." Which I get is supposed to be like that newspaper joke. It's like, what's black and white and red all over? It's a newspaper. Haha. I get it's supposed to be a riddle like that, but I don't know. When it was like, what's red and blue and dead all over? I literally was like, oh, I'm sorry. That was supposed to be serious. But I just felt it was a really cheesy riddle for the trailer. I'm thinking about it right now. Actually, I don't know. I take it back. Maybe only because it's a trailer and it needs to be very simple and very easily understandable. So they just picked like the simplest riddle in the movie. So they're like, actually, I don't know. I thought it was a little cheesy, but we'll see. I love. Oh, thank you, Kevin Wood, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Any money will count. Any amount will count to my heart. But another thing that I loved was Zoe Kravitz. I mean, I really just like Zoe Kravitz's face, body, essence, just like her whole vibe. I think she's great. Really loved seeing her as Catwoman. I'm very interested in seeing where they go with this Catwoman. From what it seems like in the trailer, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of seems like it might be like Catwoman is one of the best parts of this new Batman movie, which I would not be mad at. I mean, I am a firm believer that Catwoman was, I think it was like the best part of the Dark Knight Returns movie. I don't think it gets talked about enough. I think Anne Hathaway's Catwoman was one of the fucking dopest things I've ever seen in a superhero movie. She was so excellent. She was so awesome. I cannot talk about it enough. I can't praise her enough. And so I feel like we're about to see something like that again. And I really hope so because I feel like that element of it really saved a lot of parts of that movie. But I am excited to see. I hope. One of the things I was hoping for, though, with Anne Hathaway's Batman that we didn't get enough of was the antagonistic nature of their romance and what that does for Batman's personal development. So I really hope we get a lot of that this time. I mean, that just like one shot where he's just like brutally beating the shit out of someone and you could tell she's like visibly shaken. I feel like that's kind of more what we're gonna get, so I'm very excited. You know, I just like grabbed a random stack of Batman comics before even coming down here to like jog my memory because, guys, I'm like really operating. I just finished work, so I'm still putting my thoughts together. But was it this one? Yes. Has anyone read Batman Hush? I really like what they did with the Catwoman Batman romance in this one. And so I am hoping to see a little bit more of that in this movie. And then what else did I want to say about this movie or about this trailer? I guess that's pretty much it. I'm honestly, I don't know. I'm excited. I'll obviously still see it opening night. I'm going to show up for Batman regardless. I do think DC's walking a line here. I think after if they fuck up this Batman movie, I think they're going to be forced to take a break for a while. I think it's going to be similar to, you know, after Andrew Garfield's I mean, actually, how long after Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man did we wait until Tom Holland? Let's actually see that. The Amazing Spider-Man, 2012. Okay, let's see. Captain America: Civil War, 2016. So it's not as long as I thought. Okay, so it's like 4-ish years. But I do think it'll be similar to that, where if they fuck up this Batman movie, they're going to be forced to take a little bit of a break with Batman and really just chill on the projects and chill on pushing him because people are really going to get sick of it. And you know, it's just going to lose its way. It would be really, really dumb if they fucked up this Batman movie to try again in like a couple years. I feel like that's really going to tarnish the value of their golden goose. So they should really, really be careful with this one. So I have a lot of hopes for this one because I think there's a lot riding on it. I think there's a lot riding on this next phase in general. But for the most part, I mean, just looking at these other Batman comics and it kind of like jogging my memory. This also, oh my god, it's been so long since I've read so many of these. Here one is kind of not. Oh, you know what? I think, didn't the New Rockstars talk about this one too? The Long Halloween with kind of like the detective style of this too. Yeah. You know what? Even just like looking at these comics I have in front of me, they've done The Dark Knight a million times, animated, and they really figured it out with the Nolan trilogy. Year One, I mean, it's a great classic Batman comic, but we don't need any more origin stories like we did. So I feel like kind of focusing on elements of Hush and Long Halloween is the move. So there is some serious potential for this movie. There really, really is. And I really hope it goes well because I think, as I was kind of getting into just a second ago, there's a lot riding on this next phase for DC. And it feels like they know it, but how they actually deliver on that is going to be a whole other bag of cats. You know, based on just like the opening of the DC fandom, it was like very much like not subtle at all. They were like, do not forget, we're trying very hard to be an extended universe. We have something for everybody. we're still here. We're not going away. Please stay tuned. Like it was very pointed. But it's what they need. What they've done with the extended universe so far has been a fucking hot mess. Real shit. Stupid. It's almost like they didn't do anything at all, honestly, which makes sense why they're going into Flashpoint territory. Segue. Hello. It was smooth. Which brings us to talking about the Flash trailer. Okay. So, speaking of a lot of things writing on the new phase of the DC franchise. Hold on, burp. No, it was just a little one. Speaking of a lot of things writing on the new DC wave of whatever I lost that burp, like took all the thoughts out of my brain. That's cute. It's the beginning of the week, guys. I'm trying my best. There's a lot of controversy kind of wrapped around this whole new Flash movie because there's rumors or it's confirmed or whatever it is that they're really gonna lean into the whole Flashpoint paradox of it all and just rewrite the entire Snyderverse so far. And it's controversial because some people are very like ride or die for the Snyderverse. Some people are like, fuck that verse, like let's get something new. And so, it's controversial because, again, this is a messy extended universe. They don't really have like universally loved things, I think, except for Wonder Woman, maybe. Actually, Suicide Squad 2 was that was pretty universally loved. So they have pieces of it, but it's a struggle. So it's controversial whether or not they should just trash everything they've done so far with the Snyderverse. I think you guys know how I feel on that front, and I am very much in favor of just trashing it and starting over. Everyone can argue up and down all day about like why it's good or the value or whatever, but I think ultimately the bottom line is, even if there were good elements in it, it didn't work as a whole. Like the intention, the goals, the journey, the bigger picture did not work. So if they want to keep moving forward, if they still want to try to be a real competitor to Marvel, not just like a competitor in name, but a real actual threat to that space, then I think they got to trash it and start over because it just didn't fucking work. So, I think that flashpointing it and just fucking ripping everything off and going into another universe, another dimension, whatever the fuck, is actually a good move. But I'm not exactly sold on that either because I don't know, dude. Like, I don't really trust like Warner Brothers and the DC and Warner Brothers and DC to handle this with tact. You know what I mean? Like Flashpoint and and the multiverse and all that jazz, multiple timelines is a pretty heavy, thick, weighty concept, and I haven't seen so far that DC and Warner Brothers could handle something this large, because from my experience of watching the DC Extended Universe content, it seems like they've been biting off more than they could chew and going too big too fast, and like Flashpoint paradox with multiverse is the ultimate biggest concept, so I don't know, but at the same time I'm like, fuck this shit, let's just go to another dimension. So I'm torn. I don't know. I think it's a good move, but if they handle it well, and from what they've shown us is not something that they have a good track record for. But they're kind of struggling right now. They're on their way back, but they're struggling, and I mean, kind of like on the same thread, they have their multiverse thing with the Flash and all his stuff, and Marvel is going hard on the multiverse, and that's the new thing that you got, with Rick and Morty, with Marvel, like all the sci-fi things are, or even like the Expanse, it's not doing like multiple time. Isn't doing multiple. It's like doing multiple areas of space and dimensions. But the new sci-fi hot thing is multiverse, other dimensions, other realities, whatever. DC wants a piece of that cake. They're kind of seems like they're racing to hop on the bandwagon, so they're not the only one who's not doing it, which again might not be the best move if they're just going to rush it so they can do it as well, but also might be a good move, because if they don't do it then they're just going to get left behind, and they do have a pretty solid multiverse, established story and character in their lore, so they might as well just use it. But if they will they use it, will they wield it wisely, is the real question. And of course this was only just a teaser, so it's still very, very much up in the air. But I don't know. Yeah, I so I would say, I think some of you know just from like watching me that like when it comes to the DC long running characters, I don't know a lot. Not as much as I do about Marvel, that's for sure. But like the only one I know about like lore wise really well is Batman, kind of Superman, but I don't really know that like much about the other Justice League members, and not without trying. I think some of you know I was on a quest to care about the other Justice League members like a couple years ago. I was just like asking all my friends. I was like, give me a story that'll just make me care about someone other than Superman and Batman. Just anything, just any, and then everything I would watch would just end up caring most about Batman and Superman. But Flash is one of the only ones that has gotten up there with me caring. And I actually liked the CW show a lot. That was very, very cute. So what I was getting to with this is I know that the Flash in the movies has not been a fan favorite, really. Like they were not everybody loved his performance. Not everybody did what he did with it. Now I'm getting it stuck up. He's which one is he? Like he was mixing up the portrayals of the different Flashes, and so not everybody was super into it. But I don't know. This was just a teaser trailer, but with it, I think that kind of might be mitigated. Again, this is all contingent on if they do this correctly. That might be mitigated by having multiple Flashes in one universe. So if people weren't happy with his betrayal, then maybe with multiple Flashes and multiple personalities, we shall see. But yeah, the big news, which is funny that I'm taking so long to get into the big news of the Flash trailer. If you haven't seen it, I mean, and if you haven't heard about this, then are you even a Batman fan? But Michael Keaton, yep, he made his thick-necked cameo in that Flash trailer. He came in full triangle head, like, what up? I'm here. He's going to be the Batman that they visit in another universe. It is not speculation anymore. The Tim Burton architecture was there. The thick cowl was there. Like, it's happening. I don't know why they wouldn't just show the Batmobile. I mean, it's a fucking Batmobile. It's not a big surprise, but sure, whatever. They really were trying to edge us. I think they were like, not too much though, not too much. It's like, dude, we all know what the fucking Batmobile looks like. It's fine. Or maybe the Batmobile is just gonna be decked out and super different. But I don't know. The fact it was a weird thing not to show us. We'll see. It better be fucking sick when it comes on screen. If it's just the normal Batmobile with no frills, I'm gonna be like, that was the dumbest tease of all time. But it was like a 30-second trailer. It wasn't anything crazy. You basically see, everything that we've seen before in the Flashpoint Paradox, him going through different timelines. There's multiple Barrys. He goes to this time recruit Batman to help him. So we'll see. The suit actually looked really good. I was into it. I was very, very into it. I don't know if I was super into his suit in the Justice League movies, but this one looked good. This one did look good. Who did I hear say that it looked like what was it? It was that cutscene of that video game. Oh, God, because when I was on the quest to care about other other DC characters, my friend was like, watch the cutscenes from the Injustice video games, and I did. And they were great. I was like, what the fuck? This is fantastic. It's better than any live action DC movie I've seen in recent years. I just loved it. It kind of looked like that. But yeah. Oh, my best friend's here. Hey, Tawny. I love you too. Yeah, no, I'm super high. I think it's very, I think they're racing to get a slice of this multiverse pie, and especially with the Michael Keaton in it, like that was a real that was a real power move, and I think a good power move, because like, you know, everyone's speculating and talking about the whole Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield cameo and the Spider-Man, and if that happens, I mean, we already know that like oh my god, why can't I remember the name of the guy who plays like Doc Ock and oh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad that I can't remember his name right now. But with the old Spider-Man villains coming back, like, it's official. They're really gonna tickle our nostalgia balls, and Batman putting in Michael Keaton in was like, I see your Tobey Maguire, and I raise you a Michael Keaton. You want nostalgia, bitch? We will give you the 80s. And I think that was a really big flex and a really good move. So they're racing to meet Marvel to the multiverse finish line, but it's looking okay for them so far. So we'll see where they go with it. I personally really like the Flashpoint Paradox. It's one of my favorite DC animated movies, that's for sure. I am sad. I don't know. Well, I hope they. I don't know where they're gonna go with the Batmans for the different universes. But if you haven't seen the DC animated movie, it's really awesome. And the Flashpoint Paradox, or the Flash. Oh my god! When the Flash goes to a different timeline, he goes and he gets to an alternate dimension where Batman isn't Bruce Wayne, it's his dad, Thomas Wayne, and it's honestly fucking epic, and he's got guns and he's like pew pew, and he's like this grizzled, bitter old man. But there's, do I want to spoil it? Has everyone seen the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie? Because I don't want to. Alfred Molina, thank you. You know what? I'm not going to spoil it, because if anyone watches this and you haven't seen it, I implore you to watch the DC animated Flashpoint Paradox, because there's this. I'm going to describe it spoiler free. There's this one scene with Batman, at the end of the movie that just makes me boohoo cry, and that I love so much. And I'm sad that we're not going to see any little Thomas Wayne up in this bitch, but that's fine. That's fine. Michael Keaton's good enough, so I'll take it. But yeah, no, DC Fandome was doing the most. Not the most. It was kind of doing the bare minimum, but we got some Black Adam teasers, which I'm also very excited for. I think this is another good call, and a sign of DC going in the right direction with having The Rock. Oh, almost burped again. The Rock portray Black Adam. I know he's been on that Black Adam train for a very long time, and I think enlisting the commitment of someone like The Rock is a very solid move, because I'm convinced that The Rock is going to be the next Tom Cruise / Will Smith, if he isn't, almost already there. Oh my god, I am burpy today. Maybe I'll drink some water. Let's see. I think once The Rock gets he needs to just be a little bit of a better actor, because like Tom Cruise and Will Smith are like very good actors. So if he was just like a little bit of a better actor, but he's gotten like a lot better over the last few years. He's definitely the next mega action male lead movie star. And if he's shown anything, it's that he fully commits to a product, and he's kind of a marketing genius. So I think enlisting the collaboration of someone like The Rock is a solid and really positive move for DC. So I think that's going to be fantastic and going to be really great for them. We also got a teaser for the new Aquaman, which that was inside burp, which I would, I don't know how to feel about yet because like the first Aquaman movie was just so be it was so mediocre that I it's really hard to have thoughts on this new one. I think visually, it looks like it's going to be at least super. It looks like it's at the very least going to be an interesting visual experience. Speaking of commitment, though, like Jason Momoa is also someone who really commits and gives his all to a project. So I do appreciate that in the leading man, but just Aquaman in general was just like not a great movie, and then like him in the Justice League movies was just like hilariously bad. I mean, he's so hot. He's like the hottest man I've ever seen in my life, but is that enough to carry a movie? It might be. It usually is. But not when we're trying to establish a universe here. So I don't know. There's a lot coming down the DC pipeline, so I'm excited for it. I'm happy to see a refresh, a new coat of paint, and yeah, that's my thoughts so far on all that. And with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna take a few Q's and give a few A's, and then I'm gonna wrap up for tonight. And then I'll see you all next week. So you better get those questions in because I not gonna see you for a whole week. So get your time when you can. So thank you very much, Kevin Wood, for the 2 $4.99s. Your only super chats here, so I very much appreciate it. Thank you. You super chatted last time. Honestly, you a real one. You have the same last name as me. That's very cute. We must be related. Battinson, which, by the way, pause before you even continue reading your super chat. Battinson is an amazing Batman name. I love it. Like, Batfleck was like cool, but Battinson is just very funny to me. I really like it. Battinson is like the stepdad that's a good partner for my mom. Ben Affleck is a cool stepdad that wasn't meant to be. Ha! That's actually really funny. That's really funny. I really, really like that. I really, really like that a lot, actually. That seems so apt. I'm still tickled by it. I'm not over it yet. That's really, really funny. Because you know what? I do think like Ben Affleck's Batman like didn't really get the chance it deserved. Like he could have been a great Batman, and he was technically the Batman for the longest, right? But he was just good. He was dealt some really shitty movies. I've talked about my feelings with Henry Cavill in the same way. Like I really think Henry Cavill looks like he was crafted in a lab to specifically play Superman, and he really just got shafted. Really got the shit end of the stick there. And man, poor guys. They really could have been an awesome Batman and Superman, and maybe in another universe we like get to. Or you know what? Maybe it's not over, dude. There's still hope. Okay, maybe this new Flashpoint movie is just gonna show a brief cameo where we just like really get that like Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill collab of their characters that we've been craving for. Because I haven't seen it, and I would love to see it just visually for my eyes. Anand Thakar, did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you very much for the $5. Oh my god. Okay, you guys are being generous today. I feel better. I'm happy. Thank you. I appreciate it. This means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. This makes me feel good. I feel happy right now. That makes me feel good. Thoughts on the Marvel delays? Doc Strange 2 pushed to May. Hurts. Yeah, I'm a very impatient person, just like in my life in general. I definitely have a problem with patience, so any kind of delay definitely hurts. But if it's for the betterment of the movie and the franchise, then I will wait. I actually haven't read much into it, so I don't actually. Maybe I'll look it up real quick. Marvel delays of the Marvel 22 elsewhere. Okay, it doesn't really give a reason why it's being delayed, or a specific reason why it's being delayed, but for whatever reason, if it's going to help the movies do better or get a better reception or have greater success, I'm kind of fine with it. Like, it's how I felt about when Dune was pushed back a year. Like, I am a crazy Dune lady. Like, if there's one thing that I simp really, really hard for, it's Dune. Like, I fucking love Dune so much. So I have been like, I try to temper my expectations for movies. Like, I really, really do, because I don't want my heart to be broken. Uh, like, I remember when that Stephen King Dark Tower movie came out, I was like, just no, think nothing of it. Daryn, it's gonna be okay. I literally have like a devil moon from that series on my back, but I was like, just don't care about it. And then I heard it was awful. I've actually still have never seen that movie, and I was just like, good. It's because you had no expectations. Your heart wasn't broken, so you can just move on and keep living your life. Have no expectations, and you'll never be here. Expect nothing. And so, with all that in mind, all of that went out the window when it came to Dune. I have been counting down the days to see Dune. I'm so excited that I'm seeing it on Thursday. When I was like checking every day for like when the movie tickets were going to be released, because they were not giving an exact day. I'm crazy, and it's coming out almost a full year later, and I'm not mad at it at all. Because you know what, I was very vocal about the fact that, like, if Dune had come out and it had either gone like straight to streaming platforms or something, or basically if I hadn't been able to see it in IMAX, I would have lost my shit. And also, if they like released it in theaters in the middle of a pandemic, because it's meant to be seen in theaters, because Denis Villeneuve, I can never pronounce his name, I hate it. French is so hard for me to pronounce. But his movies are very, very much meant to be viewed in a theater. I mean, he's actually known for like not working with like set designers very well, in the way where he has like these larger than life ideas, and then like the actual set designers and the people who build it are like, yeah, dude, but like if we build that, can't capture it in a you understand what I'm saying? But like, so there's a little push back and forth when it comes to that regard. So it's a movie. His movies are meant to be seen in theaters, and if the movie had suffered because it had to be released on a streaming platform, or because not as many people wanted to go to the theaters, and thus the Dune franchise didn't continue because it didn't have enough sales, or not enough people saw it, whatever it was, I would have been devastated. I would have been so sad. So I was like, you know what? I will be a big girl. I'll put my big girl pants on. I will wait a full year for my Dune so it gets its full moment. So if that's what's happening here, then I 100% support it, if it means things will get their full moment in the sun. Because I feel like maybe they're... Sorry, my roommate's making a lot of noise upstairs. I wish I was cool enough to live alone, you guys, but I am but a poor girl in her 20s. But what was I going to say? I feel like they're maybe experiencing that. I feel like they don't know what to do. They're still figuring this shit out. Like, I feel like Black Widow as a movie really suffered because of the pandemic and how it was released. I mean, if you look at the numbers, like the releasing it on streaming concurrently with the box office actually really helped it financially make enough money. But like culturally, like as a cultural success, like meaning like everyone goes to see it, everyone talks about it, it's like there's a big buzz going around it. I think that really suffered, and then obviously Scarlett Johansson like sued the shit out of them. So I don't know, maybe they're just like really taking a step back and be like, we made a lot of decisions based on a pandemic that we couldn't see the end of the tunnel for, and now that there might be an end of the tunnel, they're pivoting and rethinking their entire strategy, which is fine. It's fine. I just want everything to work out, and I want everything to keep going. That was a long-winded answer. I don't even know if I answered the thoughts. Those were my thoughts. You asked for thoughts, and I gave like 100 thoughts. Okay, so Striker X24, hello again. You're back again with more super chats. Thank you, sir. Did you look up Sending Moon? Also, I hope we see Red Death in the Flash. I did not look up Cindy Moon, Striker X24, unfortunately, because it's only been like 5 days since. Sorry. Oh, sounds like a big something's going by. It's only been, I think, 5 days since my last stream, and I have spent every day of that doing something, and so 5 days has felt like 2 days. But I will do it when I have some time. I am flying to New York tomorrow, so I'm a busy, busy gal still, running all over the place, doing a bunch of stuff. So I don't know who is Red Death. Sorry, like I said, when it comes to DC stuff, I don't have that shit like at my disposal. Like it doesn't ring a bell as much as like Marvel stuff was, just because I didn't read it growing up as much. It's not like solidified like in me brain. I'm gonna look into this. You're giving me homework to do, and I'll do my homework. I promise. Will you give me a week to do my homework? So I'm gonna answer a few more questions, but I'm gonna wrap it up soon. So I'll probably only take a couple of these. Daryn, what James Bond seems to have asked two here. Any James Bond No Time to Die thoughts? Nope, none so far. But I probably will go see it. So hold please. And have you heard any excitement about Dune from any non-movie people? Like non-movie people not within the industry? No. So yeah. It's a little, I honestly I've still heard mixed reviews. On one hand, I've heard it's really, really good, and then from other friends that I have in like the movie industry, I've also heard that it's not getting the best reception. I don't know, but I'm going to be seeing it on Thursday, so I'll let you know next week. Whew. I don't know. I'm really going to have to take it in and see if I want to like just stream about it, or if I need to like sit the fuck down, go see it a couple times, and like do a whole YouTube video on it. I don't know. I feel Dune is my thing, so I would feel weird like rambling off random thoughts. Oh, Pitland 44. Thank you. Generous little super chat, $10, raising the ante. Between Dune and The Green Knight, I think Hollywood is starting to have to take chances again. Am I reading that right, or am I completely nuts? Also, great to see you again. Well, great to see you again, and thank you so much. Having to start to take chances again. I would agree on that. I think they're from, this, we could probably break this down number wise. So I don't know if this is like the best assessment on things, but, it, to me personally, it seems like the whole sequel fetish has gone down just a little bit in the last couple of years. I mean, like the rebooting and the revamping of things, because there was a minute there, like I would say like 5-10 years ago, that the reboots were fucking crazy. Like everything was a reboot, everything was a revamp. It was pretty out of hand, and it was also stupid. Actually, I made a YouTube video about it, breaking down why the movie industry was going towards that. So if you want to check that out, it's actually one of the YouTube videos I'm more proud of that has like not a lot of views, but I talked about this a little in my Black Widow stream, that I think the industry itself is going through a real transitionary period, and what has worked for years is not working anymore, and what's going to work and what to invest in is really, really up in the air. People do not know where to throw their money at and what strategic choices to make, because right now you're kind of seeing it's like the race to the streaming platforms. And at first, when streaming used to be like the deal and the more convenient choice, now there's like a streaming platform for every show, and you're like paying as much as you did for cable, and it's kind of bullshit. And it's so now everyone's came up with their own streaming platform because they didn't want to like share the money with all these other different streaming platforms. They wanted to own their own content and have their own. But now I think the culture around that is actually starting to change too, and people are getting sick of these streaming platforms, and people are kind of getting like over it. I mean, you have those streaming platforms like Peacock and all those other things where some people are just like, fuck that, like I just won't watch that show, instead of like getting another useless streaming thing. I'm just not going to do it. I mean, I know personally as a consumer, I have a hard time committing to Apple TV. I signed up for Apple TV to watch Mythic Quest. I've also heard like Ted Lasso is good, and what's the new sci-fi one? My coworkers just told me about it. But I don't know. Like, those shows just don't seem tantalizing enough to make me want to pay for another subscription. When it's just like, I don't know. Like, it is like a mental weird. It's like the same thing as like when an app isn't free, it makes you be like, oh, I guess I don't want this then. Like, the way that our minds have been shaped around what we consider as monetary, like to have monetary value, is very, very strange to me. And so, like, I could just dive into Foundation. That's it. Yeah, you're correct. So my coworker's like, you really, really would like Foundation. So now I think I'm going to keep my Apple TV subscription so I can watch this Foundation show, but I don't really want it. I really don't. I'm going to watch the show and then like end it. But yeah, like, I think it's kind of crazy, right? I'm sorry, we're gonna get into tangential real quick, and then I'll come back to Pitlin's question. But like, I think it's kind of insane that we pay for water, we pay for, like, food and land and all this stuff, but we like refuse to pay for news, music, and porn. Like, there's some stand up has a great bit about it. I think is it Giannis Papas, I think, who has this bit that that is says this a lot more eloquently, but it's kind of crazy. Like, the way that the internet shaped up, and when streaming came out, and when like the digitization of all these things that we regularly consume started making its foothold, like, in the internet, and the way that we consume it now with like apps on our phone and stuff like that, we all got conditioned to want it to be free or very, very, like, have a very, very low expense. So what we're willing to pay for is very, very strange. And it just cascades and shapes its way into how the industry conducts itself as a whole. There's like those big strikes going on in the industry right now for industry workers who are forced to work ridiculous hours. And I know for a fact that when they're working for streaming shows, they pay them even less for even more ridiculous hours because it's just not as profitable. But at the same time, it's like not true. It's just like a mess right now. So yes, I think that coming back to Pitlin's question, we're making a full circle back. Do I think Hollywood has been taking more chances lately? Yes, because the competition is real. And I think they got to coast a little bit in the last couple of years by doing the whole reboot thing, and that really, really worked financially well for a lot of people to just like live in reboot territory. I think that phase is over, so now they have to start making original content again. Like, original content is the name of the game right now, and every streaming platform is trying to do it, so they're taking more chances. And also, I think just like the culture of Hollywood in the opportunities they're giving people, maybe more like more classically disenfranchised people, is also reflecting in the work that's coming out these days. So yeah, I think there's a shift going on. Did that answer the question at all? Or is that just like tangent times 1,000 wrapped vaguely around your question? Who knows? All right, StrikeX24, he's back again with another super chat. Man, you really are it, dude. What's up? You need to watch Mahler's review on Black Widow. He points out lots of problems. Also, look up The Last Ronin, best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic made. More homework. More homework. There's only so much time in a day, but I'll do my best. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. That was another lovely stream, you guys. Happy to do it on a weekday. Weekdays seem a little bit better for you. You know what? Before I go, I'm going to create a poll. Let's see. Let's see, maybe Wednesdays at 6 p.m. work. Would Wednesdays at 6 p.m. work for you? Actually, no, I can create multiple. This is my first time making a poll, so let's see. All right, I just want to get an idea for like what time works best for people, so I can stream appropriately, but also, salvage my mental health. Hello, there's the poll. Oh, there it is. Huh. Oh my god, Pacific Standard Time. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. It's Pacific Standard Time. That might have been smart to include in the actual poll itself. Not just 6 p.m. in the world. You'll figure it out. You got that right. It's all in Pacific Standard Time. So, oh God, you guys, these answers are so evenly split right now. I hate you. Why are you guys all over the place? Damn it. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So it actually seems like I could be doing something a little bit later. I thought I had to do earlier because we had a lot of like East Coast people and that all stuff. But yeah. All right. I think I'm going to do next Wednesday at 6 p.m. And I will put up the stream in my channel, like schedule it so you can see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another lovely stream. I hope you have a good rest of your week. It's only Tuesday, so there's a lot to go. So Godspeed, my friends. And,